What's up, Dirty Cones? It's the eve, the night before the Alamo falls. I know you guys are like, oh, why does he keep talking about the Alamo? I think it's pretty important. You know, I mean, if I live near Gettysburg, you know, on the night before the battle, well, I mean, it's 3 days, but I mean, you know, those nights, I think I would wander the battlefield and listen to the stories and think about, you know, your place in the universe. I don't know. I mean, I was having a pretty good conversation the other day about how, with a dirty cone, a smart cone, about how, you know, we're nothing. You know, I mean, look at the universe. We're on a rock that's swirling around a giant star that's, you know, will explode someday. And yet, what do we fight about? We fight about small things like the color of your skin and the amount of money in your bank account. We don't fight about important things. You know, I mean, it's almost like you need a 9/11 or a War of the Worlds, you know, to unite everybody, because we're so petty and bickering about small stuff. And this isn't going to be a complaint the whole time. It's just me setting up the my intro. You know, I gotta lay it out and be like, look how bleak it is, and then I'm gonna come back with this, you know, amazing. Everybody will be like, wow, you know. So here's a funny story. Totally off topic, but I'll let you. So I am an ordained minister in Judaism, and Judaism is I guess a religion kind of based off of the Big Lebowski, the dude himself. And I've actually married people, and the first one I did, you know, I was talking about how bleak the world is, and like I don't even know if anybody had any clue where the hell I was going with it. They're like, where is this dude going with this? And but the message, once I got to it, was that teamwork. You know, you marry someone, they're your teammate, your team member, and you work together, and life's a little bit easier. And but the setup was pretty bleak. You know, the world's in this, and I could just see the faces of everyone going, where is he going with this? This doesn't sound like a happy marital thing at all. And but I brought it back around. So in my own way, I get to my story. I tell what I'm going to tell. It just, sometimes I have a long way around. And I think that, you know, you miss out on stuff. We need the stories and the goings on in the world. And they actually have shown that if you listen to a story and the person tells a story, I guess good enough, that you can feel, you get the same endorphins, you get the same memories, and if your imagination's that good, you actually could have that as a memory. Like, you'll remember that. That's why books are so good, and, you know, such a learning thing, you know, is because you read the book and you pick up the lesson without actually having to have, you know, lived through the Holocaust or you know, suffered the loss of a loved one or something. You know, you can feel it, and with the empathy, you know, you're like, yeah, and you know what that feels like. So I don't know, I think it makes you a better, well-rounded human being. And so yeah, there's a point. So my point is that you got to experience what life has to offer. And so I was in a place this morning where I was able to listen to Cones talking about stuff, and one of the Cones was thinking about quitting, and one guy was like, no way, man, I ain't quitting. I'm doing this for my bros. And somebody else was like, telling the kid, you know, hey, don't let anyone talk to you like that, and you know, if you don't want to be here, you won't be here. And I was remembering, you know, when I was a newer instructor, and so then I was talking about this with another instructor, and I was like, you know, when I got here, you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna smash cones, but you know, not gonna let people quit. You know, you can't quit on yourself. You know, you try to talk to them, be like, no, you don't want to quit, and after a while, then I got like, everybody quits, so you're like, forget it, I'm not talking to nobody. And then after a while after that, you figure out that the job's just not for everybody. It's for some people, but if, you know, you're there and you have a doubt, and you're like, this sucks, this isn't for me, you know, then you should quit. You don't belong here, you know. If they put me into a insurance agent salesman or a used car salesman meeting or group or class, and they're like, all right, you're gonna learn how to do this, I would quit within the first 5 minutes, because it's not for me. Doesn't mean I'm a dirty, nasty quitter. It just means that I know where I belong, and I don't belong behind a desk or in an office or things like that. I belong outside with, you know, feral animals running around, you know, because that's what PJs do. We're outside people. We're not indoor animals. So it's not quitting if you don't belong there. Like, if you know in your heart, this isn't for me. So, you know, if you show up and you're like, it's not for me, it's not for you, you know. And then someone else asked me a question. They're like, everybody's about, you know, you can't be married and be an operator. I don't know, it's such a lame term, I don't like using it, but you can't do the do if you're married, or it's hard to be married and do the do. And it is hard to be married and do the do. It's hard to be a single parent and do the do, I can tell you that. But it's doable. It's, you know, I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice, and that's a lot to ask for kids to sacrifice, you know. I was looking around YouTube the other day, and I found Jason Cunningham's daughter, and people were talking crap to her about her dad, you know, and I was just like, come on, are we, what the you don't do that to people. It just, I don't know, it didn't make any sense, but I didn't know what to say to her, so I didn't say nothing. But I wanted to say something, you know, but I didn't want to get into maybe rehashing feelings, you know, or bringing something up she didn't want to talk about it. But you know, I think about like my own kids. If something happened to me, you know, they'd be totally screwed, because I'm all they got. And so you get to that point. That's why I became an instructor, was because I was raising 2 boys of my own, and you know, 6 months out of the year I'm in Afghanistan or Iraq, and 6 months out of the year I'm spinning up to go back, and my parents were raising them for me, and so I felt like a dirtbag. And then my oldest, who was 4 at the time, was getting in fights at school, and I'm like, I called home, and my mom's like, you need to talk to your son. And I'm like, why? She's like, he's getting in fights at school, he's beating up kids. I'm like, what? So I get him on the phone, I'm like, hey buddy, what's up, dude? Why are you beating up these kids? He's like, because they have parents. And you know, I'm in Iraq, and I'm just like, and I couldn't do the job anymore. I mean, I finished out that deployment, you know, but I was supposed to re-enlist, and I didn't re-enlist because my kids needed me. I mean, my responsibility had changed, and you can be married and do this. It's just hard, you know. But tell me something in life that isn't hard these days. I mean, anybody looking for a job or trying to get into the Air Force these days to get into pararescue? Has anyone noticed the amount of hoops you have to jump through? So maybe life's hard, but maybe we've gotten accustomed to being too weak, and You know, because who really? I mean, yeah, or there are people listening to me. There are people listening to Mark Devine on SealFit. There are people listening to Stephen Pressfield. There are people listening, but how many more people are watching the Kardashians? You know, and I hate to bag on them all the time, but they're just such an easy target. And until I find something as equally annoying to me as the Kardashians, I'll bash on them. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, more people watch the Kardashians than are even in the military. You know, it's less than 1% of this country says, hey, I want to serve my country. I want to help the place be better. Or I want to do something. You know, it's not like in the old days. You know, go to prison or go to jail or join the military. You know, it's different now. You know, they don't take people like that. But at the same time, like, those kind of people need the military. The whole world kind of needs that discipline that we teach you. The commitment, the service before self. You know, the learning that there are other things besides you that matter. You know, I'm not saying that you don't matter. I'm not saying your life doesn't matter. But I'm saying that if you're that selfish with your life and that only you matter, I don't think you're living much of a life. And that's not a judgment call. That's just the truth. You know, show me somebody that the only thing they're worried about is themselves. The only thing they're worried about is their paycheck. And I'm going to show you a shallow human being who's probably not getting much out of life. You know, so I don't know. We got to give more and take less. The Travis letter, you know, I heard some people talking about it, and they're like, man, I wouldn't have gone, you know, that sounds horrible. And I'm like, that sounds horrible, but I would go. Like, I mean, that's a dare to be great situation. That's a chance to appreciate life. Those don't always come around, and so I don't know. You gotta love life. You gotta appreciate death. It's coming. You know, there's no way around it. But if you live a good life, it doesn't matter if you die. You know, and I'm a firm believer that as long as your memory lives, as long as somebody's thinking about you, you're never really dead. You know, Mike Maltz is never dead to me. Bill McDaniel, Juan Riddell, John Brown, Doug Eggleston, Armin Sarai. I mean, these are all my friends that have died, and you know, they're not here anymore, but they're still in my heart. And so, I don't know, it's important to remember people and the good that they did, and keep that energy alive, even when they're not. What's my point? My point is that if you feel a calling to do something, you know, you got to do it. That's the point. The reason you're alive is for some reason. You know, I thought it was pararescue, and then I learned that it was pararescue that would make me who I am and help me do the things that I needed to do. But you know, I'm here for something not bigger. Well, maybe bigger. I don't know. I'm here to make the world a better place. Period. Like, that's why I'm here. My God-given talent is the ability to, what used to be to rescue people. Now I teach people how to rescue people. And you know that, I mean, because I'm all broke. I can't jump out of planes anymore, and that's a tough pill to swallow. You know, you're used to running 100 miles an hour, and now you know you're doing 40. The world's a lot slower at 40 than it is at 120 knots above Baghdad, and you miss it. But you also appreciate that you're still here to enjoy it, so, you know, you won't hear any real complaints from me. But I just want you guys to, and girls, you know, reach for your dreams, reach for your goals. Don't let nothing stop you. I mean, I can't say it enough. That's the ticket. You want a happy, joyful, blissful, fulfilled life. Do what makes your heart feel good. You know, hopefully it pays. If it doesn't pay, then, you know, figure something else out. But I think if everybody lived up to their potential and was a solid human being and achieved what they were supposed to do, you know, I mean, look at my lives get cut short by drunk drivers or world wars or, you know, whatever. I mean, was it supposed to happen that way? I guess so, because that's the way it happened. But, you know, I kind of think, I mean, you gotta wonder what would the world be like if, I don't know, some person who died who could have cured cancer or could have done something. I mean, or maybe we just need to stop making weird stuff that causes cancer. You know, go a little bit more healthier and get rid of so many carcinogens that we got, and clean our water and take care of the environment. I don't know if anybody saw the movie The Kingsmen. Really, really a good movie. I really enjoyed it, but they had a good point, you know. And I give a spoiler alert. If anybody hasn't seen it, if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, then, you know, keep listening. Not that anyone's like, yeah, who's listening to you anyway at this point, dude? You're talking to yourself. Everybody else has been like, huh? What? Really good movie. Liked it a lot. Wow. That person just drove. See what I'm talking about? This guy was in such a big hurry. He drove on the... I mean, I'm going 70. Anyway, alright. So, really good movie. Lots of stuff going on. But the premise of the movie is Samuel L. Jackson's character is trying to destroy the world because there are too many people. But he's kind of a rich asshole, so he picks only rich assholes to survive in his near future. And I agree with him to a point. Like, yes, there are too many people on this planet. There are too many people alive because of, you know, drugs and medicines that were, you know, made to help people, but now just help people live longer, waste the energy. I mean, what are you doing if you're just fat, lazy, wasting oxygen? You know, and I'm not saying we should kill fat, lazy people, but I'm saying if you're fat and lazy, what are you doing? Well, how are you earning your death? How are you earning life? What are you doing to make the world a better place? Nothing. You're fucking making more CO2 and, you know, killing off trees. And that's not right. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the world's perfect person. I don't know, you know, according to what rules, how we figure out who stays or who goes. But I think I'm doing something, you know? So, there's just too many people on the planet. We're messing up the world, and we gotta figure out something, you know, before we actually have to start resorting to mass genocide the way that some people try to do it. You know, there's got to be a different way, a better way. You know, we got all the food on the planet. How do we not feed everybody? You know, I understand the whole politics and economics and yada yada yada, but just in this day and age, with all the what's the word I'm looking for? All the great things that we've been able to accomplish. You know, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't feed everybody on the planet. It just doesn't seem. Yes, it's apples and oranges, but what I'm saying is if we can do that, if we can put our minds together to accomplish that, how can we not accomplish feeding So it blows my mind. And then there's this is kind of a funny part. There's a funny part where the Danish princess offers up anal sex for the guy for saving the world, and people are like, oh my god, they made her a slut, and blah blah blah, and but they said something about they didn't use the British monarchy because they didn't use the British monarchy because they had sold out and were working with Samuel L. Jackson. They all got their heads blown off. At least this Danish princess had some balls and was like, hell no. And the dude saved the world, and so she offered him the ultimate payback, I guess. I mean, I didn't see anything wrong. It was the whole movie was a spoof on James Bond and those kind of movies, and I mean, James Bond does every girl he comes in contact with. So I felt that her saying that was more of a funny thing, but I don't think it made her a slut. I think she's like, hey, you saved my life, you saved the world. I can suffer a little bit. What the hell? I mean, I'm not saying I'm offering anal sex to somebody, but if somebody saves my life, I'm gonna be grateful. I'm not gonna be that grateful, but I'm gonna be grateful. And so the Kingsmen, funny movie. There's a scene where Colin Firth kills a bunch of crazy right-wing Christian people while Freebird's playing, and I myself, if I had to listen to Freebird, I think I would kill just about everybody in the room myself. So, really good movie. Once again, has probably nothing to do with what I was talking about, but I like to ramble. It's what I do. So, live up to your potential. That's the point of the story. Do all you can do, make the world a better place. Don't be an asshole. That's it. I think that's the secret to life. Don't be an asshole, and be kind to people. I think if you do that, you can't help but smile and love life. So, this has probably absolutely nothing to do with pararescue. I'll put this under my thoughts for the day. But thank you for listening, anybody who's still listening. And I don't know, just love life, man. Be appreciative of what you got, because I'm appreciative for what I got, and I'm very appreciative and grateful to you guys for giving me this platform and listening to me and carrying on conversations with me and forcing me to think, because it's good to think. So have a good one, train hard, stay safe, and yeah.